Hey everybody, Nate here, back with another episode of Backstage with Nate. Today's episode is all about books on acting. I'm going to give you my top 10 favorite books that I believe every actor should have in their collection. Stay tuned. There are so many amazing books out there on performing and acting that at times it's hard to know where to start to look. There are so many books that it's hard to figure out exactly which book is going to give you the information that you're looking for on a particular topic. So today I'm going to give you my favorite books that I think every actor should have that will at least give you a starting point in each of these categories so that you can learn as much as possible so you can get even closer to finding your stage door. The first book on this list is often divided up into 3 separate volumes, although you can find it as one collected work, and that would be the books by Constantine Stanislavsky. Constantine Stanislavsky is, of course, the grandfather of modern acting. So many of the amazing acting methods that are out there today can be traced back to the original works created by Constantine Stanislavsky back in the early 1900s during his time at the Moscow Arts Theater. I'm going to do entire episodes in the near future about the Constantine Stanislavsky method of acting, but his works, his books that he wrote really are the ABCs of acting. Actually, if you look at the titles, they become the ABCs of acting. We have An Actor Prepares, Building a Character, and Creating the Role. These books really are the basis for so many of the acting techniques that are out there today. I would strongly recommend, if you are an actor and you really want to understand where our methodology of acting has come from, I would definitely check out these amazing works by Constantine Stanislavsky. The next books on our list would be books written by Constantine Stanislavsky's student, of course, the great American acting teacher, Stella Adler. Stella Adler is truly responsible for bringing Stanislavsky's acting methods to the United States, and she taught so many amazing performers during her tenure as a teacher in New York City. So many of the amazing great actors that we look to in their iconic performances studied with Stella Adler. She has written so many amazing books on not only acting technique, but also on understanding various playwrights and all kinds of different resources for actors that any book written by Stella Adler would truly be an amazing resource to add to an actor's collection. The third books on the list would be those by another great American acting teacher, Uta Hagen's books, Respect for Acting and a Challenge for the Actor. These books are fantastic resources because they do dive into a slightly different approach to acting than Stella Adler's works. But again, Uta Hagen is truly an iconic theater teacher. She was an amazing actress herself with an amazing performing career, and she brings that experience to her books on acting, and these are a fantastic resource that I would definitely check out. These books have a fantastic narrative quality that some of the other books on acting seem to lack. These books provide amazing examples from Uta Hagen's own life as a performer, as well as references to her students' work. I would strongly recommend these books because they give a practical application to the techniques that are talked about in Uta Hagen's books and really allow actors to see how these techniques can be applied. I would definitely check out the various books written about acting by the iconic Uta Hagen. Fourth place on our list would be books on the Meisner Method. Of course, the Meisner Method, created by Sanford Meisner, is a very specialized acting technique that many performers really love sinking into. There is, of course, Sanford Meisner's iconic book, Sanford Meisner on Acting, in which he goes through his own methodology of teaching his technique as well as helping actors understand how to apply the techniques in their own performing work. There is also the book The Actor's Art and Craft by William Esper, one of Sanford Meisner's teaching students, and he goes through the process of how he teaches the Sanford Meisner Method in his studio. This book is, again, a fantastic resource because it goes through how the process is laid out and how actors can apply the technique, and it helps see the transitional shift across generations. It's a little more contemporary version of Meisner's books. Both of these books are fantastic resources, especially if you're wanting to learn more about the Meisner Method. As we start to move away from books about particular acting techniques, we can still look at books on the art of creating theater on stage. These next books at number 5 were written by the iconic director Peter Brook. Of course, his book An Empty Space and his other piece The Open Door are both amazing texts about the art of not only directing, but about creating art on stage and what it means to be an artist creating work on stage for an audience. If you're interested in learning more about the art of creating theater or more about being a director, I would definitely check out Peter Brook's books, An Empty Space, and then the follow-up, The Open Door. At number 6, we have one of my all-time favorite books for actors, and this book is called Actions. What's great about this little book is it basically is a thesaurus. So if you were looking at the action to run, you could look up the word to run and find countless other ideas of increasing how specific you can be in your running. So you could change your choice to be to chase, to flee, to sprint, etc. Each of these is going to be more specific and is going to help you define the story that you're telling on stage in a much more specific way. I use this resource not only myself as an actor, but in my studio almost on a daily basis. So if you don't have a copy of the text Actions, I would definitely check it out to add to your collection. Coming in at number 7, we have anthologies. These are 2 very specific anthologies that I would strongly recommend that every actor, regardless of your specialty, that you have in your collection. The first would be a complete works of William Shakespeare anthology. As actors, we know Shakespeare is everywhere. Whether you're a student and you're having to study all the different works of Mr. Shakespeare, or maybe you're an active professional looking for monologues and trying to understand the context in which those monologues appear in Shakespeare's works, having one complete anthology that has all of Shakespeare's works would be a fantastic resource to add to your collection. The second anthology I would recommend would be the Wadsworth Anthology of Drama. Yes, so many of you are probably recognizing that title from your studies in college. If you aren't in college yet, I will guarantee this is probably a book that you're going to encounter during your studies. The Wadsworth Anthology is considered to be one of the definitive collections of scripts from across theater history and across the world. So many iconic works and very important works in theater history are included in the Wadsworth Anthology. This book is the size of basically a New York City phone book and weighs about the same. It's a very thick book and it is definitely an investment, but you can find used copies of it on various used book sites listed on the web. I would definitely check this out, especially if you're still in college, because it's going to allow you your own copy to make notes, to highlight. But if you're a professional performer and you're looking for anthologies, I would recommend this one because there are countless monologues buried within the works included in the Wadsworth Anthology. It also gives you amazing context to see where, as theater artists, we have been to help us track where we're going in the future. So I would definitely recommend adding the Wadsworth Anthology of Drama to your collection. These 2 books at 8 and 9 are what I believe to be 2 of the best books written about acting in musical theater that I have ever encountered. The first would be, of course, the text Acting in Musical Theater. This book is basically a textbook. You might have encountered it if you studied musical theater in college, but what I love about this book is that it really breaks down the process of creating a musical theater character, not only for your performances on stage, but also helping you create your performances for your auditions. It helps break down shows by style and by different acting choices within those styles, helps you understand the musical stylings as well as understanding the socio-political norms of each genre that is a subset in musical theater. This resource is a fantastic book if you're trying to understand the ins and outs and the real complexity that is being a musical theater performer. So I would definitely check out the amazing work Acting in Musical Theater. Number 9 is probably the newest book on this list, and I think one of the best books ever written about musical theater, and that is Stephen Purdy's text, Musical Theater Song. What I love about this book is it breaks down the process of choosing material for auditions, figuring out how you're going to make your acting choices, figuring out how you're going to choose your cuttings, and really diving into the analysis that needs to happen to create an effective performance in musical theater. Stephen Purdy is an internationally known audition coach, and his book really, in my opinion, should be required reading for all musical theater performers around the country. This book not only breaks down the different styles and the different genres and goes through such ideas as how to analyze your character and analyze the story that you're telling, it also has fantastic sections of dialogue where you can see in text form how Purdy would work through a particular concept in his studio with one of his students. Whether you are a performer looking for more information about creating effective audition pieces, or you're a coach looking for more information about how you can best coach your students through the process of analyzing their pieces, I would definitely recommend Stephen Purdy's book, Musical Theater Song. Finally, number 10 is a book about the business side of being a performer. This is Acting as a Business by Brian O'Neill. This book, to me, is a must-have for every performer as they are trying to navigate the ins and outs of the performing industry. This book is going to talk about resumes and headshots, as well as working with agents and managers and how you interact with casting directors. Brian O'Neill has totally defined what it means to be a business person in the performing arts industry. This book, to me, is a must-have for anyone fresh out of college or any performer looking to try to understand how you make a successful living as a performer in this industry. If you don't have a copy of this amazing text, you are definitely going to want to move it to the top of your wish list or right into your shopping cart, because it is definitely a resource that you are going to want to have so that you can understand the ins and outs of the performing industry. Those are my favorite books about being an actor or a performer in this industry. Do you have ones that I missed? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Post them in the comment section below. That's it for this episode. I hope you found the information useful. If you liked the video, please give it the thumbs up. The more thumbs in the air, the more episodes will be coming your way. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, go click that big red button so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. If you haven't yet followed my studio on social media, all the links for doing so are included in the description below. If you'd like to schedule a coaching session with me, or maybe you're a fellow teacher interested in scheduling a masterclass for your students, you can find out more information about scheduling those on my website. The link is included in the description below. Thanks for checking out this episode, and I hope this information gets you even closer to finding your stage door. See you soon.